Good evening everyone, welcome to FGM eCast presenting the Australian Pro-Am Sim Series. I am Stuart Brown, I'm your host for this evening. Big thanks to HJ Plant Repairs for being on board and letting us have a new mic tonight, so I'm hoping that we're sounding a little bit better. Just adjust the levels a little bit there so that everything is and we'll get on with this one. Alrighty, we should be a little bit better there, so hopefully you can hear us. And thank you to everyone who is joining in tonight. We've got a few, around about 13 drivers, a few absentees this evening, which is unusual for this series, and very, very well supported, as those of you who follow along closely would know. And just looking through the list of drivers here, we've got the usual suspects. The Jack Boy show is on tonight once again. Cooper Murray, who I understand had a very, very strong race last week, along with Jack Boyd and Luke Bergens in here. We've got Tom Katsadonis back as well. Josh Berwin, Sam Lehman, Paddy Kennedy, Simon Martin, BJ Kennedy, Daniel Webster, Brady Buchanan in the field as well. So just noting there, we've got a little bit of crossover on some sound. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, but we'll get that sorted out as we bed in with this new mic. Hopefully things a little bit better here. See if we can make sure that that's turned off, which it should have been. And we're back on it, sorry about that. So here we go. So what we're going to do quickly is we've got about 4 minutes to go in practice here. We are at Zandvort, so a circuit that perhaps some of our audience won't be too familiar with. You can see on screen there we do have the track map up for you, so it's quite a tight and tricky circuit. Challenge our drivers very much around here to make sure that they want to get up the front in qualifying. Always the aim, of course, but definitely here, even more so with the tight, tricky layout. Not too many opportunities to pass, as at the moment we are on board with Luke Bergens. Thanks very much for the update there. We'll get that adjusted, and hopefully that's going to make things a little bit better there for you, Cats and Donuts. I love your username, by the way. I imagine that's Tom potentially just jumping into the live stream there, so thanks for helping us adjust that live on the air. Running a little bit behind tonight. Victoria back open work, absolutely flat out at the moment, as I know it is for a lot of people. And I was away last week as well, actually, the very first week since we started streaming way back in March that we haven't actually managed to meet a broadcast. So for those of you who were trying to watch last week, apologies for that. Just out for a little bit of maintenance, but fighting fit and back at it again from this evening, and very excited to bring this race too. We don't see too much racing at Zandvort in any of the series that we broadcast, so keen to see how it plays out, as there's a real little nudge on the inside there. It looked like that was Brady Buchanan, and in the 16. I can't quite catch the number on the Aston Martin there that just bumped him down the inside. Might be that he was on a flying lap. Simon Lartner pulls off there. There's only 2 minutes to go in practice, so probably most of the drivers here will jump out. So hopefully we can see some strong racing again tonight as this series continues to bring us. Without my partner in crime again tonight, Scotty, who I know has got a couple of things on as well, so looking forward to him jumping back in the box with us at some stage in the next couple of weeks. Let's get through to the close of qualifying. Next week, of course, a really good one to look forward to as well. We have the first of our Enduro rounds to end this phase in Europe, and that is at Le Mans, or Circuit de 24 Hours du Mans, is my best French I can provide. So we're just about a third of the way through the season already. It has flown. So let's quickly have a look at the current championship standings. Game volume there, probably still potentially a little on the loud side, so we'll just dial that down a little bit. So if you are watching and I'm a little quiet, please let me know. Just trialling a new mic just to see if it does the job. As I said, working very hard to try and get things up and running, improve the stream for next season and next year. So just quickly, as we've got 20 seconds to go here, we'll bring up the championship standings as they are at the moment, and it is Cooper Murray out in front. Aston Martin's dominating the top 6 positions with Cooper Murray, Luke Bergens and Jack Boyd in the top 3 places as we sit. Very interesting to see this as well. I had forgotten a new version of this. Brenton, if you're looking to get involved with this one, mate, you do have to jump on the Oz Pro Am Sim Series page. They do have an amateur and a pro setup here, so jump on there and apply through the league, and Matty and the boys will help you out as we just jump into qualifying. So Tom Katsadonis currently in 4th, with Matty Cardelloni 5th and BJ Kennedy 6th. So they are currently amateur drivers, or listed in the amateur part of the series, due for promotion. And there are a couple of pro drivers currently facing potential demotion in Sam Thurtell and Ian McMahon. So they'll be working hard to try and make sure they don't earn their way down into the amateur setup. Of course, the next Pro-Am trial does happen at the end of our next round. I think we then head to Watkins Glen for our next trial. So we'll get that off the screen. You can hear plenty of action in the background there between the Boyds. Looks like Glenn Boyd and Jack Boyd, they're both coming off. So what we're looking for here, it is qualifying. So we're looking for purple sectors. Purple, purple, purple is what you want to see. And at this stage, not seeing any, only because we are still getting around on our warm-up lap. So lead driver at the moment on the warm-up lap is actually Luke Bergen, so we'll jump on board with him. He's going to be the first one out doing a qualifying lap, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks very much like Luke Bergens may have joined the new team that Cooper Murray and Jack Boyd are a part of. So that is an interesting development we hadn't seen before. Bergen's there with a little bit of internet issue, meaning that he's just blinked on and off the screen, but he has purple everything as he is the lead driver to commence the first flying lap. Josh Perwin actually just behind him, and Cooper Murray the same. So we've got a few drivers in this group, of course, open qualifying here for AUSPASS. And by that we mean there are opportunities where streamers do set up, or series do set up, I should say, solo qualifying, so every car out on the track at the same time but equally by themselves. One of the advantages you have, of course, of virtual gaming and virtual racing. So the management team at Oz Pro-Am deciding to run an open qualifying to replicate what they do in real life, so good to see that as well. Not necessarily the GT1s, but what happens for a lot of these guys who are real racers in real world, as we do start to get back into that. So I know there is some racing on at Phillip Island late this month with Island Magic still going ahead for the year, which is fantastic to see. Always a great event. Still plenty of racing going on across the country too, including at that fantastic facility out in South Australia. I noticed today they confirmed as well at the Bend that their motorsport will be unaffected by the current changes in South Australia. Thanks very much for the like, Gavin. Appreciate you joining the stream. It's good to be back. And Luke Bergen's there, first man across the line, so fastest at a 32.69. Tom Katsadonis, let me get my teeth in, just behind him with a 32.85, so a good, strong first lap from them. And 132. These guys will get a couple more laps in. They're in a good spot. You want to keep running the laps as much as you can. Simon Leitner with a 34.26 and BJ Kennedy with a 34.98. So still a few drivers yet to put in lap times. Brady Buchanan, Matty Carleone, Josh Perwin and Cooper Murray's first laps not counting. So accruing incident points there and not getting their first official time lap in. So they will have to get it done this time around. You want to get a banker lap in. You don't want to end up with the possibility of starting from the back. We are a few drivers down tonight on normal, but that doesn't mean at a track like Zandvort that you want to be trying to make that up. And we just see Jack Boyd now go on to provisional pole with a 32.51. So let's jump on board with Cooper Murray as he tries to get his first lap in. You can see there again on screen 3 purple sectors and a green sector for Cooper Murray. So this is going to be a quick one with 3 fastest sectors so far in this session. Just needs to finish it off here. Brings it around onto the start-finish line. And he'll get this one cleanly away. Timely too as Tom Katsadonis goes fastest, but Cooper Murray a 32.10. Now our provisional pole sitter. A couple of the guys that missed triggering their first lap now coming through, putting in times. Matty Carleone with a 32.72. So that mid to early 32s is where the lap pace is going to be. Do remember here it is a fixed setup, so all of the cars are essentially the same. Obviously there's 2 different makes, but the cars have gone through and parity provided, so we see no disadvantage to either make or model. That's why we almost have an even spread through the field tonight. We've got 4 Corvettes and 7 Aston Martins, so a couple of our Corvette drivers missing. What's that Corvette? Not the newly released car on iRacing either, nor the Aston. 4 minutes to go here. As put a little bit of the mockers on Jack Boyd there as he's just run wide, so that lap won't count. Let's jump on with his dad. Still fighting and flying the flag for Boyd Racing. Jack getting an opportunity to run with one of the bigger teams. Trying to make his way up into Porsche 911 racing. And with the strength of his performance last season, no surprises there. Okay, so 2.5 minutes to go. Cooper Murray's jumped into pit lane, so Tom Katsadonis is still out on a fast lap. Full Send Racing liveried Aston. One green section here, so he should improve, or potentially improve on his fastest lap. Luke Bergen's with a purple sector too, so he is 2 purple sectors in on this lap, so he may improve. He's looking for 2/10 to move himself up over Tom Katsadonis, who is in front of him. between Bergens and Purwin, we've only got 5 100, so a very close margin there between second and third. It's going to be a good fight tonight, I think. We've got 10 drivers currently, 9 drivers currently in the 32s, and the pack up the front, I can tell you, there are 5 drivers covered by less than a tenth. As you can see across the top of your screen there, that is still on the fastest lap the driver has put in. So we've got 1:21 left, so people will be planning their final lap, last tilt at the top step. Lead this one away. Will be a rolling start here tonight. We've got 2 races. A standard format, and then we have a reverse grid race for our second run. First race 25 minutes, second 45-minute reverse grid, which will have a compulsory pit stop. Such as the setup here, that the drivers really can't manage to fuel their way through anyway without jumping in through pit lane. Cooper Murray's put his cue in the rack. Tom Katsadonis there, just slightly slower than his fastest, so not able to improve. He's going to roll around again, and he might as well, as Luke Bergens should too. No, and actually Luke Bergens has aborted it and jumped in, and as is Tom Katsadonis here, so he sees that Bergens has jumped out and no doubt understands that he does no longer need to try and defend second place on our starting grid. So just have the session about to tick over here. Just looking to see who's on fast laps. Jack Boyd has not managed to get that one finished. So that does conclude qualifying here for this evening. Let's have a look at our race grid, brought to you by us at Ferguson Group Media. So we do have Cooper Murray on pole position, Tom Katsadonis in second place. It's a good result, Tom, to split up the teammates. Luke Bergens in third with Josh Purwin fourth, Jack Boyd in fifth with Glenn Boyd in sixth. We've got the father-son combo on row 3. Matty Cartaleone for ATMR Racing with BJ Kennedy following him to round out row 4. Sam Lehman off row 5 with Daniel Webster next to him. We've got Simon Lartner and Brady Buchanan to round out our 12 starters for the race this evening. As I said, even though it is a thinner grid, we are going to see a competitive one here. So let's quickly give you the details. 18 degrees, ambient temperature. Very humid, however, with a little bit of wind down on track level. The track temperature will be fixed. And we've got a 4.25 kilometre circuit here in the Netherlands at Zandvort, a circuit that has a lot of history and a great place for us to be spending our evening on a Tuesday night. So let's jump on board now with Cooper Murray as we get ready to set off for our roll around, for our warm-up. And we're about to get underway with the formation lap here. A little bit of blinking there. Luke Bergens just struggling, I think, with some internet connectivity. And I believe here we will have a full lap, warm-up lap. It is a short circuit, so not a bad idea. Keep the track map up on the screen for you, so you can keep an eye on your favourite driver by initial. A little bit easier than car number, unless you're very familiar with your favourite driver here in the series. As I said, it is 25 minutes this first lap, this first race, and then we will follow this up with a reverse grid 45-minute feature. Really here tonight about consolidating positions for these drivers before we head into the Enduro next week. The Enduro does carry with it 1.7 times the points, so an opportunity for drivers to make up positions if they can outperform their competitors. Of course, that one will be brought to you live here on FGM eCast, your e-place for pace. Lots of stuff going on in the background on the channel, just briefly while we're doing this. Working very hard on lots of stuff for next season in terms of improving the stream, but broadening our offering to you. So let us know what you'd like to see more of, and we will be bringing that to you. And that includes a lot more post-produced content as well. So by that we mean stuff that's happened in the race. We're going to bring you a lot more of that type of content across our social channels, so that you can get more involved in these series that we're fortunate enough to broadcast. AUSPRO-Am, certainly one of those series. I'm approached by the guys, very excited to get involved with them. And of course, the HJ Plant Repairs, thank you again for jumping on board with the series. We do enjoy having you along as the prime partner of the series for Season 2. Going to some fantastic locations throughout the remainder of this series. So we're just on board now with Cooper Murray, our pole position holder, and he's going to get us underway in a few short metres. Yes, that's Tom Katsadonis Steen, my apologies. He it has got a Ripper logo on it on the, I think he's from the Just Send It team. So, looks Ripper. Plenty of support in the chat for Katsadonis. That's fantastic to see. Thanks for joining the stream, fellas. So we're just waiting for this one to get underway. You can see on the track map there, we've just got the sweeping right-hander double apex corner. Leads onto the main straight. And we're going to get ourselves underway here for 25 minutes of what's going to be frantic. Very, very close margins at the top of the field here. 9 cars covered by less than a second. As they hold the grid up now. Cooper Murray and Tom Katsadonis at the head of the field. You can see the safety car. That will pull off just up to the right ahead of itself there. Before we get this one underway, round 3 of the AUSPRO-Am Sim Series, brought to you by HJ Plant Repairs. Just waiting for the light to go green, and there it is. We're off and running. Got Cooper Murray and Tom Katsadonis, who've got fantastic starts here. Cooper Murray's going to get the benefit of pole position, be able to defend into turn 1. Tom Katsadonis doing a great job there to cover across and keep himself in second position. Very much exposed there to Luke Bergens. Josh Purwin with a great start as well. He's maintained 4th position, followed by Jack Boyd and Glenn Boyd in 5th and 6th position. A clean start for everyone by the look of it, which is great to see. So we get underway. Race 1 of 2 for this evening. Katsadonis already starting to put pressure onto the back of our race leader. As you can see him here all over the back of Cooper Murray under cold tyres. Always difficult. Just getting a little bit away there. Cooper Murray just on the out exit of the corner. They come around the sweeper through what can be best described as a flip, almost like a flip-flop. Then they'll make the run up to the tight right-hander, the end of effectively the back straight here at Zandvort. Gap's just broken away a little bit there. Cooper Murray getting away. Katsadonis got a small margin, 4/10 over Luke Bergens. Looking to maintain that and extend that as this race continues. Oh, Katsadonis runs wide there. He's managed to hold on to it. He's going to have to defend really hard here. Bergens down on the dirty stuff, but he's going to get the advantage and will be able to move up into second place. Katsadonis not letting him have it though. Jack Boyd looking to take advantage. Katsadonis all over the back of Bergens in response. Trying to get down the inside into turn 3. He's got to be careful here as Jack Boyd's all over him as well. So while he wants to try and get that position back, he equally has to defend. Jack Boyd all over the back of him. looking out the back of Katsadonis' car now. This is where all the action's happening early on in the race. So the Katsadonis fans joining us, you're getting plenty of coverage of your man. Just in at liveried car. He's got a good run in there, and that's helped him. It's going to give him a little bit of a reprieve from the threat posed to him by Jack Boyd. He's on board with Katsadonis now as he gets through the tightest section of the track. Make his way down to the double right-hander. We'll head round. That'll already be 2 laps done here. And a really good stable start from everyone. So it is Cooper Murray, Bergens and Katsadonis, our top 3 drivers. And Ginger Buns loves the loves the Katsadonis coverage. Excellent, Ginger Buns. Thanks for joining. And if you are with us tonight, if you don't subscribe, we would very much love it if you could. And in fact, we're 1 subscriber short of 100 on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch and you're not following, it's painful to see it sit at 99 there, so we'd love you to jump on board. Give us that 1 follow to get us to that magical century. So fastest man on track, last lap around was Cooper Murray. Dropping in a 32.82. As once again you can see here, Katsadonis under pressure. Just a different line in there. And geez, I tell you what. Oh, and in the background there you can see it's Josh Perwin go around. So different line in there for Katsadonis. And it works to his benefit. You can see how far away he pulls from Jack Boyd through that section of the track. So he very much early apexes that second corner there. And makes his way out, getting a much better drive out of the corner than Jack Boyd. Of course, both in the Aston Martin, so it's not a setup here. Sam Lehman, great job from him. Just quickly jump on board with him. He is currently up 4 places, our highest mover so far tonight. And our leading man in the Corvette, doing a great job there. On behalf of Holding 9-3 Sim Sport. There's a small pack of cars there as well between himself, Cardaleone. We've got Webster and Glenn Boyd. Careful of the off tracks here. There, oh, someone's well off in the background. Didn't quite catch who that was actually. I think it may have been Glenn Boyd, but it looks a little bit Aston Martin-y. A little bit Corvette. I like. We didn't get a notification there. As this gap here seems to have settled a little bit for those fans in the crowd. Katsadonis, you can see there, that's that line we're talking about. He's a lot earlier in on the apex. Gives him better drive out of the corner on Jack Boyd, and that is how he is building that gap. 3/4 of a second now. Currently sitting in 3rd. Trying to give a little bit more courage throughout the field. So we're on board now with Daniel Webster. Moves into the Aston Martin this season. Always in that fantastic looking, I believe it's race image blue Aston Martin now. Used to seeing him in the Mercedes-Benz last season. Always very, very consistent in his performance. And currently doing exactly the same thing here tonight in 6th position. Equally up 4 spots. There's, might have been Matty Cardaleone that I saw duck off in the background there. Or even Glenn Boyd. Just looking at the sides of the cars here to see if I can identify that one that copped all the damage. Too much damage on that one there. Let's have a quick look here at Glenn Boyd. In 8th position. He's down 2 spots on his initial start. Still getting accustomed to this Aston Martin. Then we've got Simon Lartner in 9th position. On of our Corvette drivers. That Corvette, an absolutely fantastic sounding piece of machinery. It does in fact run the LS7 motor in it, I believe. In a few weeks since I actually checked up on that. My memory might be letting me down a little bit. And we've got this battle at the back here between Brady Buchanan and Josh Perwin. Very close together. Just off in the background there, BJ Kennedy as well. So it's on here between the Corvette drivers. As you can see there, just a spin, unfortunately, for Brady Buchanan. Not too much damage done, so he'll get back underway, but will rejoin the race at the back of the pack. So we've currently got a gap of around 2 seconds between Cooper Murray and Bergens. We're going to jump back into this battle here, which is closed right up again between Katsadonis and Cooper Murray. Between Katsadonis, my apologies, and Jack Boyd. So 16 minutes to go here. A lot of pressure being put on Boyd. Being put on by Boyd, I should say. As you can see here, we jump out the back of Katsadonis' car. Thorn between the trio at the moment, with Murray, Bergens and Boyd all on, members of the same team. So Katsadonis taking it to them, making sure they don't have it all their own way. You can see there that Boyd just looking to see whether or not he might be able to get the job done. We get through yet another lap here. They fly at the moment. This is a great track. There's lots of action. I do like circuits like this when we get to broadcast, because there's always plenty to look at. It's a little bit Oran Parky in a way, in terms of a likeness, just with the tight nature of the circuit. Similar in size to what Oran Park was, and we do head to actually already headed to Oran Park start of the series. No, in fact I'm wrong there. I think we head to Oran Park with this one for one of our, yeah, I'm right, the Australasia first leg, which is one that you will not want to miss. It's actually on the 5th of January, so if you are around on the 5th of January, that's for one of the, or the last of the wildcard weeks, which gets a couple of our drivers a wildcard entry into the series. And that is going to be the Audi 90s, which are an insane turbo Audi, and we're going to be running them at Oran Park, so that's going to be an event to see. There'll be plenty of cars getting involved in that, as the drivers look to try and make their way into the series for the Australian leg of this global series. So don't put that one in the diary, don't miss that. Of course on FGM eCast. Was Pro-Am Sim Series here, HJ Plant Repairs, our partners, and thank you to them. So things just look to have stabled out a little bit here. This margin between Tom Katsadonis and Jack Boyd just pinballing a little bit. I was out to 3/4 of a second and it came right back. So instead I'm just going to jump back on board here with Daniel Webster. There's a battle pack forming here with Matty Cardaleone and Glenn Boyd. All lapping at very similar lap times, although Webster did have a slightly slower lap last time around. It was a 36, so I'd say that's how this is all closed up. Thanks for the like, Brenton, really appreciate it. Good to race with you on Thursday nights as well. And we've got a little nudge there, and that is very unfortunate. Matty Cardaleone there, I guarantee you that will get the attention of the stewards. Daniel Webster will not be happy about that. Did not look like Cardleone might have been far enough up there. Let's have a look at the replay. As we bring it back down into the corner here. Let's see if we can just jump on board. And yeah, unfortunately, just not up far enough. So that's going to cause a headache for him. As we head back live here. Tons of love for Tom Katsadonis in the chat tonight. Nyla Walker, thank you very much for joining in. Appreciate your comments as well. Welcome to the stream. Ethan Patrick too, if I miss saying hello to you, I apologise. Likewise. So he's under pressure now. Again, he's got the Boyd Aston Martin all over him. Boyd's just a little bit of a lock up there. But Boyd's just not able to find a place to get the job done. They're faster in different sectors of the track, which is just helping to maintain that gap. It's actually out at the moment at 3/4 of a second. And that's just because Katsadonis gets a better exit out of turns 7 and 8. And that's just helping him to maintain it. There's different positions where they are stronger. And that is certainly able to be seen when we keep an eye on that gap. So it sort of closes up now. It is a fixed setup series though, so it isn't because of the way the cars are set up, literally because of the way the cars are being driven and the guys finding different ways to make pace out of the cars as they get around the track. So it is still Cooper Murray out in front. He's got about a 3-second lead now over Luke Bergen's behind him. Just noticed there that I hadn't been showing you the gap on the top of the screen, so apologies for that. There it is there. Fair to say I'm a little bit rusty even after a week off. Do need to keep yourself up to speed on what's going on with all this. Having a quick look through the field here to see where there is also some more competition. Still very close between Lartner and Josh Perwin as we see a little bit of gamesmanship there. Lartner getting right down on the inside. He's run real deep in the corner there. He's going to try the switchback here. Oh, great driving. I reckon he's going to get it done too. He's on the bad side, however. Needed to try and hold it through there. Just I think the better part of Valor, but a good move on the switchback there. Just not quite able to get it done. So it's Josh Perwin up into 7th position now. So we'll keep a close eye on that battle. So the only other battle in the field really at the moment is still this one, which has been raging since lap 2. And Tom Katsadonis just soaking the pressure up, doing a great job here. Good, clean racing between these two as well. Always opportunities for a bump, but none of it in this series. So we just tick under 8 minutes to go. So we should get another 5 laps in, I would say, or so. This gives us 11 laps so far that we're through. Onto the 12th now. Just thinking about that longer reverse grid race, which is 45 minutes with a compulsory pit stop. So we'll see how that plays out. Expecting to see cars pit at around about that lap 15. Should get them to the end. He's running out of time, Jack Boyd. He does need to try and get it done. Jump on board with Jack Boyd. Wow, very, very good close up there. He's got a really good run on him here. Let's see if he's going to get it done. Sort of in the wrong spot to get it done. He's going to have a look. Real pressure here. Katsudonis defending as hard as he can. You've got to be thinking 2 corners in front of you to make sure you keep the car positioned in the right spot. He's done just that. This is the section of the track where we do see Katsudonis a little bit stronger than Boyd. Just keep an eye on that gap, and there it is there again. It's just opened up again to just on half a second. You just feel that if Jack Boyd can work that line out, that he's going to be able to get this position and move up into 3rd. It's still Cooper Murray, Bergens, Katsudonis, Boyd. We've got Lehman, Glenn Boyd, Josh Perwin, Simon Leitner, Matty Cartaleone, and Brady Buchanan. Followed by Daniel Webster. PJ Kennedy in pit lane getting repairs done. You see him there on the right of screen. So we've got 3 laps to go because it's driven by the race leader. So I'd say we're definitely going to get through 3 laps. But the battle is very much for 3rd position. So close are they, you can't really see between them on the map. So TK is the letters that we're following, if you're wondering where they are on the track map. So again, this is the segment of the track where we generally see Katsudonis move the margin. 0.3 here. He's run real wide there, but managed to recover it a little bit. Certainly hasn't got the advantage here that he normally does coming out of that section of the track. In fact, it's under 2/10. Boyd's not going to be close enough there. He'll be thinking a couple of corners ahead as well to see if he can get the job done. Down into the hairpin, I dare say, at the start of the next lap. So he'll be just making sure that he's nice and close. Jump on the nose here. Let's see what happens. He'll try and get down the inside. He's got to defend. Oh, and Boyd's got just underneath him here. Great racing from Jack Boyd. Oh, there's been a touch. There's been a touch, I believe. Just wait and see if there's anything from that. A bit of a lock-up there from Jack Boyd as well. be some post-race after that event. We'll see what happens. What that does allow us to do, however, is give Cooper Murray a little bit of coverage here. Tom Katsadonis has crashed and come back onto the track as well in the background. So obviously some steering damage from that incident. He'll be just trying to bring that car home. He's going to be under pressure now from Sam Lehman. He's caught up as a consequence of the incident. But taking nothing away from Cooper Murray and Luke Bergens. Cooper Murray, they're using all of the track and a little bit extra. So we'll start the second last lap of the first race. We are going to end up with, there's Tom Katsadonis there with a lot of damage. He is right down the top end of the track. And that is a shame for that car. You can see there that right hand front wheel pointing in a completely different direction. So he's just going to try and limp the car around, get it to the end of the race. Of course, what that does do is it will push him right up the grid for the start of race 2, a reverse grid race. So he may be able to convert that into some points to help him on his way. But Cooper Murray will come around. He will get us on to the last lap. For HJ Plant Repairs. Here for round 3 of the AUSPRO Sim series from Zandvort. End of our first race of the evening. He's just going to get across the control line in time to do one more lap. So hopefully fuel not an issue. For notes, for those taking interest in the next race, we've done 16 laps. So it'll be 17 laps before any fuel is taken. Potentially, in our feature race. Will be a short warm-up period between the two races, and then we'll get straight into that race. So I'm going to do a big shout out to Aftershock, your rig, your choice, our PC supplier and channel partner. And of course the Virtual Motorsport Mentor. If you're looking to get faster at sim racing, Chris and the team are the place to go. It's Cooper Murray. 4 corners to go here to get to the end of this race. Bank a few more points and extend his lead at the top of the tree. 2 corners to go and he will bring it home. And there it is, the checker flag. So that is going to be the end of our first race. I'll bring the results to you shortly, but it is Cooper Murray, Luke Bergens and Jack Boyd with the trio at the top there. A little bit of contact, we believe, between Jack Boyd and Tom Katsadonis that may be investigated post-race. There was some very, very good driving from those two drivers throughout that race. And we're going to be in for a very exciting second race. A couple of our faster drivers actually starting from the, or finishing in the at the rear of the grid on that first race. So it means in this reverse grid race, second race, 45 minutes long, that they will start towards the front. So we're looking for the faster guys, Cooper Murray, Bergens, Boyd, to make their way through the pack, but they will have to get past Tom Katsadonis, Matty Cardleone, and Brady Buchanan, Daniel Webster as well, and BJ Kennedy, who will start at the front of the grid. Just waiting for a couple of our drivers to finish their race. We've got Brady Buchanan, I believe, still out on track. So it's just bringing that one around to get that finished. And that's job done for race 1. So we'll have a small warm-up period here. Let's just have a quick look at the results from that first run. Okay, so we've got Cooper Murray, Luke Bergens and Jack Boyd, as we said, the top 3 drivers there, followed by Sam Lehman, Glenn Boyd, Josh Perwin, Simon Latner, Tom Katsadonis, Matty Cardleone after that incident as well. Just sliding a little bit further down the field, we've got Brady Buchanan, Daniel Webster, and unfortunately BJ Kennedy did finish in pit lane. So just waiting for any of the drivers who are going to do the warm-up to come out on track. A quick opportunity for them to grab a drink and do what they need to do to get themselves ready for the next 45-minute race. So we're just going to wait for this to tick over here. See if anyone actually does jump out onto track. At this stage, no one taking the advantage. As we say that, of course, Sam Lehman jumps out to completely contradict that, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to follow him around. We're just going to do ourselves a very quick break here, and we'll be right back with you in just a few moments on FGM eCast to bring you race 2 of the Oz Pro Am Sim Series, brought to you on FGM eCast, your e-place for pace, of course, and thank you to HJ Plant Repairs. We'll be back with you in just a few moments. Alright everyone, we are back and up and running. We're just about to conclude the warm-up between races here. So we'll jump in and have a look at the grid for this reverse race, second race. Just see a run off there. So let's quickly grab this grid up on the screen here. It's going to look a little different to what we saw at the start of the first race, which is great. It's what we want to see. BJ Kennedy on pole position. Daniel Webster second there. We've got Brady Buchanan and Matty Cartaleone on row 2. Tom Katsadonis, strong performance on the first race. Ended towards the end there. Simon Lartner next to him. We've got Josh Perwin, Glenn Boyd, row 4. Sam Lehman, Jack Boyd on row 5. And Luke Bergens and Cooper Murray bringing up the rear of the grid. So keep a watch here. Said 45 minutes this race. Compulsory pit stop there as well, so it's going to mix it up, and that's the idea of these reverse grid runs. Get to see those faster guys try and make their way through the field, try and vary it up a little bit as well. So looking forward to this second race. Do the warm-up lap here before we get things underway. Pretty sure the weather conditions fixed. Just double check that there. Yep, so we've got 18 degrees again, 18 degree track temperature, partly cloudy, very humid for this second run. Yeah, a little bit of debris on the track too, so the drivers have to be careful of that. That very famous line, debris, 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 will apply here. These two Aston Martins of Webster and Kennedy look fantastic in their livery as well. See Brady Buchanan up the front in a Corvette. It's for something a little different in terms of the Corvette, that is. So we're just coming through the final couple of corners here before we do get underway. 45-minute race, compulsory pit stop, reverse grid. It is going to be a very fiery first few laps. Let's see if red and white Aston Martins in the background there, waiting to try and get their way through to the front. Watch for Tom Katsadonis as well to make his way through to the front here. It's on the inside getting into turn 1, so he'll be looking to take advantage of that. Pole position here, a good strong advantage because the layout of this track. Just waiting here as we're about to get underway. Will be Webster and Kennedy to take us away. That pace car about to pull off, and we're going to get underway and racing when the light goes green, and there it is. Green flag drops, and it is Webster and Kennedy who get a good start. There's lots of defending going on here down into turn one. They've got to be careful to make their way through there. Very, very squirmy. BJ Kennedy, Matty Cartaleone, what a cracking start from him. Up 3 places and into the lead. He got an absolute ripping start. Oh no, as we see Katsadonis there out in the weeds. I don't know if he's going to get back on track cleanly there or not, as it is Matty Cartaleone out in front and trying to run away in that black liveried Aston Martin. Just trying to check out what's going on there, whether or not Tom Katsadonis has got back on the track cleanly there, so he will now be fighting from the back with Boyd, Cooper Murray and Luke Bergens. Well, there is a slide there in the background. I think that was Josh Perwin who's gone off track. Simon Lartner running wide there as well. So plenty of action in the background. Oh no, as Cartaleone's done the same thing. He's gone straight ahead there and hasn't managed to quite pull that up. There's a bit of damage to the right hand front corner of that car. It's got to be careful on the rejoin, as do the cars around him. Tom Katsadonis already back up there. Luke Bergen's right behind him, so field sorting itself out very quickly here, but it is Daniel Webster out in the front here leading. He'll be trying to make the most of it, but Cooper Murray already up to 3rd, Boyd up to 4th, Bergens 6th, Katsadonis 7th. Even with that start, Josh Perwin jumped into pit lane. We're only through 1 lap. And our race 1 winner already setting his eyes on Daniel Webster and BJ Kennedy. Strategy plays a little bit here as well. Expecting 14 laps or so of fuel as Cooper Murray moves in on BJ Kennedy, and in fact Kennedy goes off, and it looks like Matty Cartaleone's been caught up in that as well. Not a great start there for Matty. He had a blinder of a start, got right up into the lead, 3 spots up, and unfortunately just ran ahead at the quick chicane. Daniel Webster here. It's on 34.2 last time around. Cooper Murray 33.3. Jack Boyd 33.2. So a speed differential there. Cartaleone is back out on track, as is BJ Kennedy. After their incidents. Flash of the headlights there from Cooper Murray. So letting Daniel Webster know that he's there. I'm pretty sure he'll be fully aware. He's right behind him. Can be a difficult place to make a clean pass though, but Webster there just running a little bit wide. And that's allowed Cooper Murray to take back the lead of the race. I say take back, to get the lead of the race. Jack Boyd, Luke Bergens. Next, also interesting to see there, Tom Katsadonis right behind Luke Bergen, so he's caught up that gap. Daniel Webster doing a good job here as well. I'll stick with these guys and keep some pace if he can. So it's a reverse grid race, so there's certainly no need for him to make way. Once again, a little bit of headlight flashing going on from Jack Boyd. Gotta be careful here, Jack doesn't want to get impatient. There's no need to at this point in time. Plenty of time left. I see a small little brake lock up there from Daniel Webster. It's just affected him a little bit. Good driving from Daniel Webster at the moment. Just managing to hold him up a bit here. He's going to go for a dive down the inside under brakes into turn one. He's going to get it done. Luke Bergen's going to try and follow him through there as well. I don't think that's going to quite work for him. Not quite close enough to be able to get the team double. So Bergens will have to work. Very much the battle of the Astons at the moment, occupying the top 5 positions. So it looks like Matty Cardilleone's night may be over. Webster's gone wide there on the exit, and that has allowed Bergens to jump in front of him. Oh wow, it's a re-entry there. Very, very close to affecting these guys. Matty Cardilleone actually not out of it. He has rejoined the race after that repair, so there's now some lap traffic though. So Tom Katsadonis next in the queue here. Try and make his way up, lapping it around about the same time as those in front of him. In fact, Jack Boyd, fastest on track last time around. Well, big slide there from Katsadonis, just losing traction. Just pushed the car wide. So that's going to mean he's going to do a little bit more work. This battle going on here, Brady Buchanan, Simon Lartner, resumed where they finished. Battling away between the 16 and 36, Buchanan and Lartner. So we've done this one for a bit. Let's continue to battle away. The gap opening up now, just on half a second. Jump back on board now with Cooper Murray out in front. 1.2 seconds up the road from Jack Boyd. Jack Boyd just managing to close the gap a little bit here between himself and Cooper Murray. Nick Bergens, you can see in the background. So we've resumed this, what looks like status quo, with Murray, Boyd and Bergens occupying the top 3 positions. Daniel Webster still battling away in 4th, doing a good job after starting on the front row of the grid. He's got Tom Katsadonis about 3 seconds behind him. Sam Lehman, Simon Lartner, Brady Buchanan, Glenn Boyd, BJ Kennedy did start on the front row, but had an issue at the start of the race. Josh Perwin and then Matty Cartaleone rounding out our 12 drivers in the race tonight. Expect to see pit stops around about the 20 to 25 minutes to go mark. So in about 7 minutes or so time, we'll see a rush of pit stops. Probably a variation of around about a lap between our lead drivers. I can see now Bergens is catching Boyd too in the background there. You can just see that gap closing up. To have some people in the chat before asking how you get involved in this series. Easiest way to do it, jump onto the AUSPASS Sim Series Facebook page, shoot the guys a message or ask the question, and they'll more than happily help you out. There is a way to be involved between our Pro-Am series. Now next Pro-Am trial effectively happening next fortnight. Go to Watkins Glen in the stock cars for a run, so that should be an interesting race. Of course, next week we are at Spa for a not for a 24-hour race, but we're at Spa for an enduro. So we won't have a reverse grid format that we have tonight. It's a single driver enduro, which will be about 1.5 hours. Louis Bergens giving his teammate the headlight flash there. Sure there'll be words about that afterwards. Boyd and Bergens get along pretty well. BJ Kennedy back into pit lane. He will not make it home from here, so he'll have to pit again. Looking at it, so it may have just accidentally triggered the pit lane monitor there. He might have got a little bit too close to pit lane entry. Software that we use for the stream, very good, but can be a little bit touchy because it's based on triggers that are set by iRacing. A lot of work on some new camera angles for you as well that we'll be releasing in the new year to try and improve the stream and what you get to see. This gap here for the Katsadonis fans in the feed has closed now, down to half a second between Daniel Webster and Katsadonis. Webster's run nice and consistent. There can be a prevalence for drivers to overdrive the cars when they do run these reverse grid races. So try and carry that extra speed to stop the chasing faster cars from catching them. Generally catches you out. You just want to be nice and consistent. That's what Daniel Webster's been here. Faster guys will catch you because obviously they're still going to be doing those lap times. So it's just a matter of making sure that you're nice and consistent and letting the race play out the way the race was going to play out. So at the moment they're looking reasonably strong for a top 5 finish. Of course, it's still early days. 29 to go here. Pit stops to come into it. Anything could happen. The gap between Jack Boyd and Bergens continues to close. The gap here between Webster and Katsadonis continues to close. Webster won't make it easy for Katsadonis, and nor should he. Turismo blue Aston Martin. A little bit of a lock up there, runs a little bit wide. Exposes him somewhat to Katsadonis, who is strong through this part of the track. Particularly through here. You see him there close the gap for the run down to the final 2 corners. Headlights ablaze here as we approach dusk in the Netherlands. What a really good push there. Katsadonis just trying to get his nose in. Quite able to do it. Good driving from Webster to defend his position. Trying to find out a little bit of additional information there on the Murray Boyd Bergens team, but couldn't find anything quickly there, so sorry about the gap. There's Webster still under pressure here from Katsadonis. Katsadonis not quite able to do anything about it here. He's about to get into the pit window, 25 minutes to go, so a little bit of sense here if he feels he's being held up behind Webster to jump into pit lane at the end of the next lap, fill the Aston up and run it to the end, try and get the undercut before Webster pits himself. The window here only around about 5 minutes for the drivers. I can definitely do 25 minutes on a tank because we've already seen them do it, so they'll need to get their stop in the next 5 minutes, one would think. As I said, most of these drivers will do it one lap aside of one another, so we'll keep an eye on who jumps into pit lane when, but we are in that pit lane window now. So it makes a certain amount of sense for Katsudonis to fuel it up now and not potentially lose any further lap time to Bergen's in front of him. Gap now out to 6 seconds. Just decided he's not going to do that though. On now with Daniel Webster. See behind him there. This time Katsudonis. So that gap hasn't really closed up too much more. Webster defending well here. I said I definitely would be considering, if I was Katsudonis, jumping into pit lane. Getting that done now. He's bought himself a lap margin. What's he going to do here? Oh, it sort of looks like he was going to make the decision, but didn't quite go with it. And try and get down the inside here into turn 1. He's just not far enough up to get the job done, albeit a little bit of a deep run there from Webster. That has not provided Katsudonis with the opportunity that he needs. So move one further back now to Glenn Boyd. Now jump on board with Jack Boyd, who is managing to hold out second position there. Ahead. Cooper Murray still out in front here, 3.7 seconds in front of Jack Boyd. Boyd only about half a second up on Luke Bergens. Not too much pressure being put on there though by the team. A little bit of lock up there you can see in the front from Cooper Murray. Sam Lartner jumps into pit lane. And that will get him all the way through to the end. These drivers, probably only a lap or so of fuel left in the cars. They might get to 19 minutes. You see first of the stops here, it is Jack Boyd there, just throwing the dummy out. And I'll tell you what, I bought it, so it's a good thing that his teammate didn't buy it. Luke Bergens behind him. Thought he was definitely going to head in. As Tom Katsudonis has got the job done on Daniel Webster on that last lap. We did miss it there. So the track map decides to rejoin proceedings, which was very helpful indeed. You can see there Katsudonis must have got the job done down into turn 1. Still looking out for that one Twitch follower to get us to 100. So if you are out there watching on Twitch, you don't follow the stream, we'd really love it if you give us a follow. Oh, there it is there. Xenos, thank you very much. Yes, you did. Our 100th follower, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Yeah, well, we're on board with you, man, now. And he's decided to go another lap without pitting. So we're down well and truly, I thought, outside the window for these cars to make it. As he's definitely now inside the window to get to the end, with our first race being a 25-minute race. Got 19 minutes to go here, and we've done 25 minutes already, so potentially running on fumes. Just for that, Xenos, thank you very much again. Stick with you, man. Tom Katsadonis, as he makes his way about halfway through this lap. I'm just waiting to see people pull in to pit lane. Cooper Murray will be the first of those as our leader. Katsadonis, a little bit of work to do here. He's coming up on Simon Lartner, in fact, who is currently in 10th position. That's the next car up in front of him on the track. He may not get that job done before he jumps into pit lane. Cooper Murray just getting through the last two corners before I'm assuming he is going to jump into pit lane and get his service done. Let's keep an eye on him here. No, definitely not. So these cars are able to go a lot further than the fuel load allowed. Jack Boyd has done the dive again and still not gone into pit lane. So he continues to play tricks with Luke Bergens behind him. Gap between those two are very close indeed. Sam Lehman not playing the games. He's jumped into pit lane to do his service. There's a compulsory stop here this evening. So you will see your man Tom jump into pit lane as well. I'm just going to jump on board with the Boyd-Bergens battle as it continues to rage. Thank you once again to HJ Plant Repairs for their participation in the series as the main sponsor. And also to our channel partners, Aftershock, your rig, your choice. If you're looking for a new PC, Ryan and the crew, I saw some photos of their shop the other day, and they've got more 3090 graphics cards going out in computers than anyone could realistically hope to put together in such a short period of time. They always get the job done, and they do it as well, making some fantastic looking rigs. So we've got a one that we use to broadcast, and we absolutely love it as Cooper Murray does jump into pit lane, and behind him Jack Boyd also does the same. So Luke Bergens, the effective race leader for this lap around. I wonder if that means that Katsadonis will jump in. Yes, it does. So Katsadonis into pit lane as well, as is Daniel Webster behind him. He's had a great run so far this race. Just talking about Aftershock PC there. So if you are looking for a computer to help you with your gaming of any sort, Aftershock PC, the place we would recommend you go and see. So Luke Bergens should be in this lap. And of course the crew at Virtual Motorsport Mentor, Chris Purnell and his team, who get all things coaching done from a iRacing perspective, but also more broadly, whether it's setting up your gear or just getting some general advice on improving, or maybe trying to find that last second that you need to get up to the front of whatever you're trying to do. They are definitely the guys to see to help you go faster. Serena Williams has a coach, so why can't you? VirtualMotorsportMentor.com. 15 minutes left here. Bergens just has a little bit of a slide there, and just having a couple of internet issues as well. He will come into pit lane this time around. It's quite a tight little entry to pit lane there. As you can see, the big slide. Bergens taking the cone out on the way in. Still managing to keep it clear of the walls. And that will mean that Cooper Murray will get back into the lead. What will this mean for Jack Boyd? That was where it was closest, so let's jump on board with him. See how we go here. Boyd coming down the straight now. Luke Bergens still in pit lane, actually. This is quite a long stop for him. I wonder if he maybe got a stop-go for the entry into pit lane, because Katsadonis is going to catch him here as well. And I would say that's exactly what's happened. This is a long stop for him. Daniel Webster's gone through too. So, certainly not what Bergen's wanted. I'd say he's had a 40-second stop-go there. Just on the basis, we'll expect to see him head out. That's going to drop him right down the list. There he goes there. So, he definitely has. He's done a 55-second stop, 40 seconds, I would say. Yeah, you can see it there, 55.7. A penalty there for an entry into pit lane that was a little too hot. So that's going to impact on the outcome of his race. So that does mean, Xenos, your man, Tom Katsadonis, what's going on here? Just had the whole thing drop out. Well, that's not good. Let's get back on board here. Your man Tom Katsadonis up into 3rd position. It's Jack Boyd in 2nd. He's got a fairly good gap back to Katsadonis in 3rd. So I can't see him being troubled too much. You can see the gap between himself and Cooper Murray up in front. 13 minutes to go in the feature race here this evening for AUSPASS Sim Series. Yeah, good celebrations there. Katsadonis fans will be wanting to bring it home in 3rd position. A little bit of recompense for race 1. He was running 3rd. And he ended up not finishing there. A little bit of damage on the car because of some contact with Jack Boyd, in fact. The other man will be very pleased with his running is Daniel Webster. He's about 2 seconds further back from Katsadonis. Started on pole position here in this reverse grid race. He's managed to hold his own. It's been clean and consistent. Currently in 4th position. Josh Perwin around about 10 seconds further back down the track. Luke Bergens will be driving like a man on a mission after his stop-go penalty in pit lane. He's got 12 minutes. Try and make up around about 23 seconds. It'll be quite difficult for him to do on such a short track. Setting qualifying our top 10 drivers covered by less than a second. So, albeit we've got a small pack, the pace is pretty consistent across the field. So, a 25-second gap, almost insurmountable, one would think. But we'll keep an eye on how he goes with his progress. Currently sitting in 7th place. Not sure what's going on with that. We keep having some dropouts here. The speed of the internet is perfectly fine, so there's just a little bit of a connectivity issue between ourselves and iRacing. Hopefully we don't drop out. We've only got 10 minutes to go here. On board now with Josh Perwin in it. The fastest of the Corvettes so far. He's in 5th position. Scrubbing a little bit of the dirt there. He won't be doing that too often. It's about 8 seconds away from Daniel Webster. lapping at just on the same pace. Just trying to see if there's anyone who's going to make any moves here. Katsudonis is lapping slightly quicker last time around the Jack Boy, but not enough to make much of a dent in that gap there. The other battle that's getting close is this one here, Glenn Boyd, Simon Leitner. There's a second between these two drivers. But it is still this man here, Cooper Murray, dominating proceedings as they stand. Hefty 5-second gap, nearly 6-second gap back to Jack Boyd. Giving some of the extra real estate available around the course there. Track's getting quite dark now, 7 minutes to go. Headlights are ablaze. The field's sort of spread out now. We've really got too many battling for position. So 5 minutes to go. Just do a quick run through the field here. So we've got Cooper Murray out in front. He has spent the majority of the evening. Made his way through the pack very, very quickly to get up to the front of the field for this one. Can start at the rear of the grid in the reverse grid race that we're in now. Currently holds a nearly 8-second lead now over Jack Boyd, who is in second place. Finished third in race one. So equally he has made his way through the field up into second place. Next we've got Tom Katsudonis, who we followed a fair bit of the night. He's been involved in most of the action actually, battling away with Jack Boyd. Once again there, apologies, we have lost the feed. So I can confirm it's not an internet issue. I'm not sure if it's an iRacing issue, but we'll battle on. So Tom Katsudonis has set in third. He has been involved in the thick of it throughout the evening. Was running in third position in race 1. And unfortunately got some steering damage. Ended up finishing down towards the bottom of the grid. Daniel Webster in 4th, starting this race on the front row. Has held his own and looks likely to take out 4th position here, which will be a good strong finish for him. Good points haul as well. Protect his position in the championship. Josh Perwin, fastest of our Chevrolets. Sorry, I should say our Corvettes. It's blaspheme. But the Corvette there, running in 5th. He's had a pretty uneventful evening, which is the best ones to have, really. Sam Lehman running in 6th position. Again, that's going to help him. He's got a bit of damage there on the right-hand front corner of that 93 SimSport liveried car. He's just going to lose a position here as we're on board. That is a lap. That will in fact be Cooper Murray, I believe. Glenn Boyd, next man on the track. Running A is probably not his favourite night, I imagine. I would ask him, but he's still out there running in 8th position as it sits. He'll continue to get faster and faster in that Aston. Changing cars, of course, as all of the drivers have this season too. Running for Boyd Racing in 8th position, so not the worst outcome in the world. We've got Simon Leitner running in 9th position in another one of the Corvettes. He had a really good battle throughout the evening with Brady Buchanan. And he's got the better of that now and currently running 9th. BJ Kennedy was on pole position for this one, but unfortunately did get a little sideways on the opening laps, and that ended up affecting his race. And then Brady Buchanan, when the feed decides it wants to jump back up again, currently running in 11th. And Matty Cardilioni, who had a ripping start, went from 5th up to the lead of the race almost by the first corner. But did unfortunately succumb to running straight ahead through that section of the track there, in fact, and ended up just touching the wall. And then things just started not to go quite his way. So we've got a minute to go here. There will be one more lap in this main race, thanks to HJ Plant Repairs. Round 3 of the Oz Pro Am Sim Series on FGM eCast. Your E-place for pace. So we're getting around about 50 seconds to go, but so definitely the final lap. And it is Murray from Boyd from Katsudonis as we come to bring this one to a close. Do stick around at the end of the race. We will have the drivers for a quick interview. Cover off what's going to happen next round. It really has been a dominant display here. As Luke Bergens has managed to get his way back up into 6th position after that time penalty, I should say. So it'll be a team 1-2. It could have been a trifecta as it was in race 1, but it's just not meant to be. We're on board now with Cooper Murray. He's got 2 turns to go to bring this one home, and he'll make it the daily double. Clean sweep here at Zandvort. Great circuit, good addition to the series. I see more racing here, and he's going to take out the second win. And that will be all she wrote for Cooper Murray. 2 on the trot here at Zandvort. And that will help him extend his point lead at the front of this series. So congratulations to him for a fantastic result. As a race win, we've got Jack Boyd, who's going to come through in second place. And it'll be Tom Katsadonis in third. So good racing from everyone here this evening. In a slightly smaller field, as I said, than we're used to seeing here. Generally, we do get good, solid grids for the AUSPASS Sim Series. But fortunately, on the track we're running at tonight, not really making an impact. Good racing throughout the field, good racing throughout the evening. As I said, that'll definitely have an impact on the championship standings as they were, particularly the result for Katsadonis. That should help him try and catch up to our front 3 as it stood. So really good stuff. And thanks very much for your participation, Zenos. Appreciate it. And we'll try and grab Tom in to the com box and have a quick chat with him. So next week on the AUSPASS Sim Series, as I said, we do head to Spa for our first of our Enduros. There are 3 Enduros throughout the season, 1 in each region. We are joined by Cooper Murray. We'll just have a chat with him in a sec. In fact, everyone's here now, so we'll update you on what we're doing next week. We'll just grab the drivers who've just jumped in with us. As I said there, the outcome of the race, we did have a clean sweep for Cooper Murray, Jack Boyd in second, Tom Katsadonis in third. And Cooper, we'll start with you, mate. Congratulations on the double. A really good race. You managed to get through quite quickly through the traffic and get up to the lead in the reverse grid race, and then ran away with it.
Yeah, that was the whole aim of the second race, just get through the traffic as fast as we can and not lose too much time on the people around in front. And I think we managed to get the first by the second lap, which was good. And then just cruised from there.
Trying to make sure you kept it clean. You everyone ran a little deeper than we expected in that one with the tanks. Obviously, after the first race, 25 minutes, expecting everyone to sort of run dry around that interval, but managing to run right down through that. So obviously more fuel allowance than we were expecting in that race.
Yeah, especially compared to the previous rounds. That race, I think I finished with 7 litres, so I could have taken a lot less, but better to be safe than sorry.
And can you let us in? We obviously at the moment going into the pits, the 3 of you, yourself and Jack, along with sorry, I just had a mental blank there. Along with Luke, we're in the front 3. Did Luke get a speeding infringement there entering into pit lane? Did he?
Yeah, Luke unfortunately went in a bit deep and got I think it was a 45-second stop and hold, so that ruined his race unfortunately.
Yeah, we did see him clean the cone up there, but a pretty aggressive entry from all of you, as it should be, to make up the time. Congratulations on your race win. Jack, a good result for you as well, a third and a second this evening.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty good points haul. Unfortunately, as pretty obvious in the first race, a bit off pace. Haven't done many laps this week, but it was really good to have Cooper and Luke to bounce off. Obviously, teammates. Good to have Luke in the team now. So yeah, we've been working really well together. And unfortunately, Luke missed out on the podium with a stop go there. But no, I think we should be looking pretty good for next week as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting one when we get to our first Enduro of the year at Spa. So looking forward to seeing that. Actually, my apologies, at Le Mans, I should say. So looking forward to seeing how you guys go there. And Tom, likewise, a good overall run for you. Obviously, a little disappointing at the end of race 1 there, but some good fight back in race 2 to take out a podium.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed with how this went overall. With it's probably one of the best chances I would have to get good points on the HM engineering guys, because obviously it's extremely hard to overtake here. So when I qualified second in the first race, I was really happy with that. Obviously, I made a schoolboy error on one of the opening laps, and I think I let Luke past, and then obviously I got into a little tangle with Jack. Second race though, the luck flipped from being unlucky to get caught up in the crash with Jack. I ended up capitalizing off the mistake that Luke made, so I got the podium I wanted in the end. And in the second race, obviously you get more points, so I can't be too disappointed with that. But you just need to get a couple more tenths per lap on all these tracks, because the way it looks to me, obviously Jack and I were similar pace, but he hasn't done many laps here. So it's obviously still alarming how much quicker they are than me. It's always a couple seconds a lap. So if I'm going to continue to be a thorn in their side for the rest of the season, I have to pick it up just a little bit.
It's interesting that you use that analogy, because that's exactly what we used during the stream. So, yeah, definitely. So it's good to see a little bit of a mix there. And obviously the circumstances not great. But the contest between yourself, Luke, and Jack was actually really good to watch from our perspective throughout the night, and hopefully we can see that continue to progress through the season. Obviously the usual things, Cooper, Jack, I'm sure there's a swathe of people that you'd like to give a mention to on the stream.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank HME and their main sponsors, Logitech and Honda.
Jack?
Yeah, again, just HM Engineering, and big thanks to them for also bringing Luke on board. It's been really good to have another person to bounce off, not only in this series, but also in like Porsche Cup and the other things we race. So yeah, big thanks to everyone at HME.
And just very, very quickly, how are your and Cooper's challenges going in the Porsche Cup?
Not too bad. Coop had a really good week last week.
Yeah, just get crashed out in most of the races you do, so
that's always fun.
Yeah, but no, the pace is good. Just gotta finish races.
That's unfortunately always the case. It's the best way to win. We'll have to keep us up to date on that as we speak to you throughout the remainder of the season. And Tom, yourself?
My team, Full Send Racing, Steen, who organises everything for us, Frozen Speed, our main sponsor, and my friends watching the race all along. Thanks for your support, fellas, and thank you for putting on the broadcast, and welcome back. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely. I was disappointed to miss last week. It's the first week we've missed streaming since we started, but unfortunately sometimes you can't avoid it. But yeah, it was a good race to come back, and very keen for next week. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us in the Combox. I'll let you go and enjoy the balance of your evening. And once again, just to say thank you to HJ Plant Repairs for their participation and ongoing support for the AUSPASS Sim Series, or AUSPASS, as it continues to become known. I think we'll probably keep using that acronym where we can, but certainly AUSPASS Sim Series, and to the race organisers as well, who put in plenty of hours behind the scenes to get these things up and running. Thank you to you all. Audience, you've been great. Thank you as well for jumping in, and Xenos, thanks for grabbing us that 100 on Twitch. We really appreciate it. To our main sponsors as well, of course, Aftershock PC, to Virtual Motorsport Mentor, and of course to our parent company, Ferguson Group Media. If you're interested in any of the services those companies provide, obviously do reach out and we can help put you in contact with them. We are basically done for the week here. We will have another stream for you on Sunday night for the Activity Hub Bali V8 Supercar Oval Track Series, so we'll be back with that one as well on Sunday night. There'll be a little bit of content during the week as well, so stick around for that if you are looking for something to do. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next week we'll see you on Sunday night, I should say, for Activity Hub Bali V8 Supercar Series.